Okay, so we are back here on Code Signal, and let's read through this problem and see if we're able to do some practice. So, implement the missing code denoted by the ellipse. So right here, you may not modify the pre-existing code. Consider two following representations of a non-negative integer. Okay, so two representations of a non-negative integer. A simple decimal integer constructed on a non-empty sequence of digits from 0 to 9. I'm also noticing that we have a little counter there. Okay. A simple decimal integer constructed of a non-empty sequence of digits 1 through 9. An integer with at least one digit in a base from 2 to 16 inclusive. Okay, so inclusive. Enclosed between the hashtag characters and preceded by the base, which can only be a number between 2 and 16 in the first representation. For digits from 10 to 15, characters A, B through F and capital A through F are used. Okay. Additionally, both representations may contain underscore characters. They are used only as separators for improving legibility of numbers that can be ignored while processing a number. Okay, your task is to determine whether the given string is a valid integer representation. Note, this is how integer numbers are represented in the programming language Ada. Okay, fine. So now let's look at some examples. So for line 123 underscore 456 underscore 789, the output should be true. Okay. This one should also be true because we have the 16 hashtag here and then ABC hashtag. Okay. True. This one should be false. What's the difference? So we have 10. Okay, so because these are not like base 10, right? I think that's what it's. I need to make sure that I don't copy and paste that, or like highlight it, because I'm going to get a copy and paste alert. Okay. So this is base 10, so we can't use those ABCs. I think that's what it's trying to say. So 10, 10. Okay, so we have hashtag. This should be false for line 10, 0. This should be true. This should be false. Okay. Syntax tips. Okay. So input output is string line, a non-empty string. Okay. Guaranteed constraints, it's between 2 and 30, the length, and the output is a Boolean if it is a valid representation, false otherwise. So I'm going to come back up here, read this again, and try to understand what's happening. Okay, implement the missing code denoted by the ellipses. So, consider the following representation of a non-negative integer. A simple decimal integer constructed of a non-negative or non-empty sequence of digits from 0 to 9, okay? An integer with at least one digit in the base from 2 to 16 inclusive. Okay. Enclosed between hashtag characters and preceded by the base. Which can only be a number between 2 and 16 in the first representation. For digits from 10 to 15, characters A, B are used. Okay. Did we see any capital letters? Because it's base 10, maybe? This should be false. Okay. Additionally, both representations may contain underscore characters. They are used only as separators for improving legibility of numbers and can be ignored while processing a number. Your task is to determine whether the string is a valid integer representation. Okay. Once again, trying to understand what the question is even asking. I know that we're trying to find if it is valid. I also know that we are trying to I think there's something to do with before the hashtag. That is the base. That's what it's talking about. Like, your task is to determine whether a given string, it's talking about like being preceded by, right? Okay. The output should be false. Is equal to true. 10, because this 0 is there. Okay, so I'm going to come here at least one digit. And that's what we're returning, is this at least one digit, okay? So now if line length minus 1 is equal to a hashtag, then set base is equal to 0. Why is my computer so slow? We set base equal to 0, and then we say if, and then I change stuff. So I change stuff here. I change stuff here. Oh my computer is very... So I change stuff there, and then what I do is, I have no idea. It's just completely frozen. Okay. Okay, that makes sense. I plus equals 1. Okay. Well, I is less than length here of the line that we're considering. If line of I is equal to a dash, is not equal to a dash, so if it's an actual letter that has syntactic information, then we process it. So here's our processing of it. Okay? So we're going to say digit is equal to minus 1, and now if A is, so we're assuming that we are on a letter, right? Or a digit, I mean. Not the base. So is the default like 10 if there is no base? Okay. Anyways, I know that I'm going to have to be setting base to something, so I'm guessing that I need to check base first. So we come here, digit is equal to the ordinance of line of I, so that index, okay, minus the ordinance of A plus 10. So then, if this is the case, then we change digit, okay? If the other one is the case, then we change digit as well. So we're changing this digit here. Let's see. Okay. She's saying that she went to sleep at 4 a.m., but that's kind of normal for her. She normally gets off work at like 3 a.m. So we're changing digit, right? To something. And now we're checking if digit is between this and the base. If it is, then we're good. If not, we're false. Okay, so now so what I need to do is I need to actually change this thing here, and I need to say so this is not going to work. Okay, I am going to pause the video and see if I am able to maybe close out of some things. I don't know why my computer is so frozen right now, so hold up a second and see. Okay, hold on. Okay, so I closed out of some tabs. I don't know if that's going to help, but it's more responsive now, so okay. I'm not sure if it's like updating something. I thought maybe it was because I was recording, but I don't know. But while so I am going to try to loop through and get to a hashtag, right? So, well, I is less than length of line minus 1. Well, we're still valid. I want to keep looping until I find a valid, until I find a hashtag. Okay, so it's like 16. So I'm trying to figure out how they string them together, because there's multiple hashtags here. Enclosed between hashtag characters. Okay. Preceded by the base, which can only be a number between 2 and 16 in the first representation. In the first representation. Okay, so for digits here. Okay. But this one does not have a hashtag, so how do we deal with that? Keep looping until I find a hashtag. So, I want to isolate this digit, right? So isolating the digit is going to be doing something like, I'm going to start at the ones place, right? So I'm going to say base is equal to the base plus this digit that I just got, which is going to be line of I multiplied by I, kind of like this. So if line of I is equal to a hashtag, we want to move line over by 1. I plus equals 1 and then break. Okay? Otherwise, we want to do this, right? And then make sure that we don't forget this at the end. So we want to increase this. Base is equal to 0. But if we do this, so this is going to be I, and then I is going to be 2. So I don't want it like this. I want this to be like 10 to the 2, right? I'm not sure. Times 10 to the power of 2. I don't know. Otherwise, we will do this in break. If line of I is equal to that underscore, we just want to I plus equals 1 continue, okay? And then I want to say if we have gone to the last one and still not found a hashtag, then we need to just break out of there, right? Like, if I is greater than or equal to length of line minus 1, so if we've length, so if we come here, if we're on the last line, right, if we're on here and then we find a hashtag at the very end, I come and break. Otherwise we keep doing this. Return true. I'm not sure if this is correct. Let's try running it. So test 2 passed, did not execute all of these. Okay. Had a runtime error. Okay, so now what we do is let's go and try to see what this is doing. Okay. Okay. Used in the Ada programming languages, you have 2 main classes, a simple decimal and a based integer. The missing code you need to implement is the logic by parsing the base part of the string of the first, or before the first hashtag, the missing logic. To correctly parse, you need to iterate through the characters before the hashtag, ignore the underscores, convert the string to a numerical value. Oh, are these... So I guess another thing that I need to do is I need to cast this as a int, right? And I'm just going to assume that run test that wasn't the problem. Okay, yeah. Okay. So let's keep going. Since the base is always decimal representation 1, you multiply the previous number by 10 and add the current digit. Okay. So there's a lot of things that I am that I need to study pretty quickly. So I need to know about these lines here, like understand what that's doing. Okay, in your draft you had this. Line I is a string character. Example 1, you cannot multiply it. Okay, that's fine. Positional logic, when parsing a number from left to right, like 16, you don't use... Oh, wait, yeah, that would... Yeah, okay, because I need to go from the other side. Okay, so C1. Okay, key takeaways. The first representation rule, even if the number inside the hashtag is 16, the base prefix itself is always 10. Underscore ignoring. Okay, case insensitivity. The start of the body. Should have found closing later. So we did this. If it is 0, line of I to 9, shift current base decimal and add new digit. Base is equal to times 10. Okay, yeah. Plus the ordinance of this. So this is like converting ASCII to other stuff. Okay. If there is a non-digit or non-underscore before the hashtag. Okay. Alright, so that is one question. I'm going to come back and say... Okay, yeah, that's fine. Recovery question. So all types of questions here, right? Okay. General coding assessments. And so I pressed on like recovery here. So implement a single function and run it against test cases. I mean, why not, right? Like, I'm just trying to get a ton of practice in. Okay, you are given a number of 2 digits integer in. Return the sum of its digits. Okay. For n equals 29, the output should be 11. Okay. So I like this. Well, I'm not going to say that I like this because I don't know, maybe. Right. So this is going to be, we want to isolate each digit, right? So I'm going to say digit, I'll say total is equal to 0. And then I say digit is equal to, and I want to pop off the last digit, right? So I'm going to say n modulo 10. Okay, so now I want to do while n is greater than 0, right? This, and then, so I grab the digit, okay? I add this to my total, so total equals, and now total plus digit, like this. Now n is equal to n integer division by 10, like this. Return total, like that. Okay, test case pass. Click submit, see if we are good, and okay, so we got that. Okay, so now do we have more sample questions, or was it just kind of like getting the feel of things? Okay, cool. So we got the view diff. Let's click this, see what. Okay, done. So the diff between the submissions. Okay, we have Python. Okay, so we have a lot of languages. So we have these are the only two that we care about. Okay, good. So this type of question. Okay. Explore all questions. General coding assessment. This one isn't the actual one, right? Okay, I'm a little bit nervous to press that. I don't want to press that. Make sure it's not the real one. Okay, so let's try quiz. Okay, what's this? What is the next number in the following sequence? Oh, okay. 1 is this Fibonacci. 2, 1 is 3, 5, okay. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Okay, submit. Okay. Submit. Okay. Select the correct answer, description. Well, okay. Sure. Okay. Same thing? Yeah, same question. Okay. So right now I'm just trying to come here and have a conversation with AI. Okay. Bug fix. Let's try a bug fix. Okay. Start practice. So there is a bug in one line. Find it and fix it. Given a sorted array of integers. Okay. Ugh. Given a sorted array of integers a, your task is to determine which element of a is closest to all other values of a. In other words, find the element x in a which maximizes the following sum. Okay. So another nice thing to do is make sure that we can read the problems and understand them, because this is something that is, each website is going to ask things in slightly different ways, so I want to make sure that I am able to read them and actually comprehend what they're asking. So there is a bug in one line of the code. Find it and fix it. Okay, given a sorted array of integers, okay, sorted array of integers, a, so a is the sorted array, okay, your task is to determine which element of a is closest to all other values. Okay. of A. So I'm trying to find the element in A which is closest to the average. I believe that's what it's trying to say. The absolute, maybe this is why it was so slow. I was wondering, is it like a software update thing? So the absolute value of the 0th index minus the value that we select. Okay, find the first element, or find the element x in A that minimizes this. So here minus the absolute, or plus the absolute value of the difference here, all the way to the end. Okay, if there are several possible answers, I'll put the smallest one. Okay, so for this one, it's going to be 4, right? Because that's closest to the sum. Okay? Or not the sum, but the average. Closest to the average. For x equals 2, the value will be 2 minus 2 plus 4 minus 2 plus 7 minus 2, which is 7. This one will be 5. This one will be 8. The lowest possible value is here. So this one, both of them are going to come out to be 1, so we want to take the smallest one, which is 2. Okay, so because there's a tie, yeah, awesome. So now what we want to do, index of minimum. Okay, so we have this index of minimum. This is what we're trying to set. Here's my coffee. Alright, this is what we're trying to set. Minimal sum is this float, okay? For I in range length, current sum is equal to 0, okay? So we're going through, we're doing a double for loop, okay? Now we say current sum plus equals AJ minus AJ. No. Well, that's always gonna about. Am I frozen again? Okay, this is always going to evaluate to 0, right? So that's not great. So if current sum is smaller than minimal sum, then minimal sum is equal to current sum. So this is the thing that we're triggering on to say that we found something which is so it would be different than the way that I would think about doing it. I would just try to find the average, and then from the average I would try to do another for loop and just see which number is closest to the average. And then as I go through it, I just take the first one. Like, I would only update if it is a lower average. If it's equal, then I would keep it. Keep the old one. Because I would see the smallest first. Okay, so anyways, I'm trying to figure out how they're trying to do this. So we are going through A twice, and we're getting the 2 indices, okay? And we want to, each time we go through this list of A, we are initializing the current sum equal to 0. Okay? And now I'm going to say for J in range, so I'm going back over it, okay? So now I say Okay, so now I'm going to go current sum is equals to the absolute value between whatever. I'm just going to make sure I, right? It doesn't matter if I do it here or there because it's absolute value. So this one is going to be the difference here. Okay. And then the difference here, and then the difference here between the current element that I'm looking at. Okay. Let's, I'm just going to run tests and see what it says. It says passed. Okay. So again, I would probably do this very differently. I would be running through a, I would try to bring this down to O of n, time complexity. I think my method would work. I'm just going to make sure. I want to confirm that. I was thinking about solving this in a different way. I was going to do 2 passes and check 2 passes. First pass gets the average. Second pass finds the closest index to the average. Would my method work as well? Okay, I just want to confirm like things are in order. Okay, so that one was how we do this. So the way that they're doing it is just 2 for loops. So they're saying like, okay, I'm going to check this value, and then I'm going to get the sum of the entire thing, and for that, I'm going to check this value and say like, okay, well, is it closest to the, or like, not the sum of the entire thing, but the sum of the entire, or sum of each element for that item that I'm considering, right? That's how they're doing it. Very intuitive and it makes sense. However, in this specific example, mathematical cases, using the average mean will not always work. To understand why, we have to look at what you're actually calculating. Your code is finding the median. When you minimize the sum, right. Because of, let's take the example of, wait, hold on. So if I take the example of 10 trillion, okay, my average is going to be like 1 billion. And now each time that I go to those, it's going to be 1 minus 1 billion, plus 1 minus 1 billion, plus 1 minus 1 billion, plus 1 minus 1 billion, right? So I'm going to have whatever, 20 billion, okay, because I had 20 ones. So then, but then the trillion one is going to be like in half or whatever. So that one is going to be slightly smaller. So I got slightly smaller on one, but I got enormous on the others. So I should do something like 1, where it would be 1 minus 1 is 0, 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 right? All of those are going to be 0, and then just take the hit on the trillion, maybe. Is that right? I don't know. The answer is always the median. You find when you minimize the sum of the absolute differences here, the answer is always the median. Okay. Looks at the mean, which minimizes the sum of the square differences, yeah. And I want the sum of the absolute value of the, okay. Why average mean fails? The average is sensitive to outliers, which is what I was saying with like the trillion. Values that are much larger or smaller than the rest. So here, median code. The median is 1. Let's check this. So 1 minus 1, 1 minus 1, 1 minus 1, 1 minus 10 is 9 here. But now if I say for 10 times 4, okay, plus this one. Okay, yeah, because I selected 10, so it's 36. So the winner is 1. Your proposed method, the average is 2.8. The closest number to 2.8 is 1. In this case, it worked, but it doesn't always mean that. Like if it's a huge number, like the trillion thing, or like 100 right here, yeah. But what if A is here, then it's 34, is not 2, right? Okay. How to improve your code to be in log n. Your current code uses nested loop, which is n squared, yes. If the array has 10,000 items, it will be too slow since the array is always the median. You can solve this much faster. So sort the array, pick the middle index. Okay. Summary of the math rule. Okay. So I will consider and look into this as well. Right now I'm trying to get an overall feel for all of these different types of questions, you know. Okay, so writing, whiteboard, recovery, progressive single function, okay. Progressive file system front end, progressive file system, matrix, okay, let's try this. Select the degree to which you agree with each statement to be sure to fill in each statement for your answer to be recorded once. Oh, this is one of those weird ones. Okay. You like pizza? Not really. I like. 我很喜欢火锅. Okay. Pizza. Yeah, I like pizza. Yeah, pizza's cool. Hamburgers? Yeah, sure. Burritos? Nah. Sushi? 还可以. Ice cream? This is 还可以. Okay. Has been submitted. Okay. Yep. That's a kind of a. That's one of those like these problems. Okay. Anyways, let's just get going. Okay, so we got that. Let's free coding, free front end, free text, free file system. Let's just try this one. Let's see what's going on here. Alright, okay, so welcome to the practice task. This task is designed to be a playground that allows you to get acquainted to the testing environment and practice the functionalities of the platform. Solving this task consists of several steps. In each next step is open. Where's next? Oh, wait, hold on. I didn't see that next. Maybe I need to go and look at the other questions. Maybe I just didn't see that. Okay. Anyways, so Playground allows you to get acquainted to the testing environment and practice the functionalities of the platform. Solving this task consists of several steps. Maybe it's just specific to this question. And each next step is opened whenever the current step is solved correctly. You always have access to the current and all previous steps. Your task is to implement a simple container of integer numbers as the first step. Consider implementing the following operations. Okay? So container. So am I trying to do like a class? Consider implementing the following two operations. Add value should add the specific integer, returns an empty string. Exists should check whether the solution or whether the specific integer value exists in the container. Okay. Given a list of inquiries, return the list of answers for these queries. To pass to the next level, okay. Customize the will be granted for each test passed, so press submit often to run tests and receive partial credit for past tests. Please check test requirements for argument types. Okay, so add here, okay. The output should be okay. So it's not going to be a class. It is going to be, queries is going to be a list of parameters. So I'm going to say if queries indexed at 0 is equal to add, then we want to do like my set dot add queries, okay, indexed at 1. Now I don't know, should I do a set or should I do a list? So I'm just gonna say int container is equal to a set at first, but we can change this to a list if we want to. So int container, right, like this. Now I'm going to say if queries of 0 is equal to exists, return, oh yeah, and return empty string. This one is going to be return queries indexed at 0 in int container. Okay. So run tests. 0 passed. Okay. And we need to be casting things. Int here of queries. And we are going to say int here of queries. Okay, run tests. 0 passed. Interesting. So why would this... Oh, okay. So it is a, queries is a list of lists. Okay, so I'm going to come here and I'm going to say for query val in queries, okay, maybe my result is going to be equal to an empty string, and then I can do result dot append like this. Oops, not like that, but like this. And then instead I can something like this. Return result like this. Okay. So now instead of this, I just need to say query. Okay. And now query here. Okay. Like this. And then if dot add, and I want the int version of the val. Okay. And then I want to say if it equals to exist, this one is going to be, I don't know. I don't want to say result, but yeah. Is equal to the int of val in container if I can just say like if this is the case, then result dot append true, otherwise result dot append false. Okay, like that. And then let's run these test cases. Okay, all of those passed, and we submit this. Correct. Okay, so now we can go to next. Okay. So scenario, in the next step, the next step is to support removal of the container. Okay, so should remove a single ooh, this doesn't sound like a set anymore. Okay. Should remove a single occurrence of the specified value from the container. If the value has multiple occurrences, only one should be removed. Oop, okay. We are taking you away. You are no longer a set, and you are a list. Okay, so now you are not going to be add, you are going to be append. Okay? So now what I want to do is same thing like previous level of functionality should remain the same. To pass the next level, you have to pass all the test cases to customize. Okay. Okay, so let's do this. Oh wait, where's remove, right? They didn't get the. Oh, here it is. Okay, cool. I wanted to see it, you know. Okay, so if query is equal to remove like this, then what we do is so in a list no, I actually don't want it in a list. I'm thinking now like a dictionary, where I have the key value, where the key is the number and the value is, yeah. Okay, fine. Fine, you've convinced me. Is a... Woo! Dict of ints. Okay, so now I'm going to say key is number and value is occurrences, right? So now instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to say for add, okay, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to say int container indexed at the key, which is val, which is val equals int of val. Okay, so now val is plus equals 1, right? Exists. So now I want to say if this int container indexed at val is greater than 0, we do this. Otherwise, we do this. So for remove, what I want to do is I want to say if int container indexed at val is larger than 0, I want to remove that value. So int container indexed at val minus equals 0, like that. Otherwise, we do nothing. And what does it return? Exists. So it looks like it returns nothing. Is that right? If the value has multiple, it only one of them. Okay. Previous level of functionality should remain the same to pass. Okay. Let's try it. Okay, so it's unhappy. Error output. Let's see what. Okay, so another thing is trying to play around and see what actually they allow you to see. So that way we have some debugging capabilities. Your program had a runtime error. We come here, default dict here is not defined. Okay, so that is actually kind of good to know. Can I do something like from collections import default dict? Is it like this? Not sure. Okay. So I'm gonna say don't tell me how to solve it. Don't tell me how to solve it, but tell me why and how to fix the. No, just what is the default dictionary? Don't tell me how to solve it. Just tell me the default fix. The includes. Okay. From collections, import this, right? Like it should be correct, right? I thought that's what I had. At least I think it is. Okay, so this is directly from ChatGPT. So we're going to run test. And we're still getting this error output. Okay. Okay. And we're looking at this one. Okay. In my code, you have an A and U swapped. Okay. So, oh, I see. Default dict, and now I actually want to try commenting this one out. Run tests. 0 passed. Okay. Let's try it again. Run tests. Wrong answer, so we didn't get a. Okay. So we did not get. are we able to see the other ones that we failed on? Return value here, false, false, false. False. True, true, true. Console output is empty, error output is empty, return value, okay. So add, exists, then remove, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, true, true, true. True, true, true. True. So there's 2 more that are just like not there. Okay. Console output, error output, input. So we have these here. One, 2, 3, 4, okay. 1, 2, 3. That's what we saw, right? 1, 2, 3. And then we have 2 more. One, 2, 3. And then we have 2 more, which is what I did, right? 3 and then 2 more. That's what they wanted. Okay. Okay. Should remove a single occurrence of a specified value. If the value has multiple occurrences, only one should be removed. Okay. Previous level of functionality should remain the same. Okay. Add these. Numbers 2, 3 exist. Remove. Numbers 2 exist in the container, but 1 does not exist. Oh, so it's like removing, like, wait, no. 2 and 1. Okay. Would it be something like this? Oh, wow, am I ridiculous? Okay, but it still didn't say anything about doing this. So how do I... So let me just press submit, right? Okay, we got it correct, but... And that was just a little typo thing. This one is... They didn't explicitly say anything here. Like, if you notice, it doesn't say return anything or add that. So I needed to look at the actual test and see what it was returning and what it was expecting and kind of infer that. Okay. Alright, so the next step is to support the operations for finding the nearest integer in the container greater than the provided one. Okay. So, get next. Get next should return the minimal integer in the container that is strictly greater than the provided value. In case there is no such integer, return an empty string. Okay. So, I am going to say, let's look down here. Get next 4 is going to just be for itself. Get next 2 is going to be 2. Let's see, get next 1, 2, 3. Let's look at 3. So this one, two is 4. This one is 4. This one has nothing larger than it. Okay, so if query is equal to get underscore next, then what we do is we want to sort this list, right? I'm just going to say my list is equal to int container. Okay, so my list dot sort. Okay. Now what I can do is for I in range, or for I in my list, if range length my list. Okay, if if my list of I is greater than val. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to append that, so result dot append my list of I, like this, okay, and then continue. Okay. Result dot append, and what do we want to do in the case that there is none? It was just an empty string, right? Yeah. Okay. Run tests. So it is unhappy. Right, because this is not. This is a default dictionary. This is not a list, right? So how do I want to do this? Dot get items. there's one that gets the items and one that gets the... Okay, there's an easy way to do it, but I'm just gonna go like this. So I'm gonna say my sorted list is equal to an empty list, okay, and then for key val in int container, right? Then I can say my sorted list dot append the key, because that's what I care about, and then at the end of this, my sorted list here dot sort like this, okay? Run tests. So we're still getting errors. Key value container cannot unpack non-iterable int object. So you are angry because there is one like dot get items. I don't know. No, that's a dunder method. Dot get. I don't know. Okay. So that is a good thing that we need to actually figure out. So, for this one, I'm going to come back into here. How do I extract the elements within a default dictionary? Is it the same for a normal dictionary? Okay, so for key value in int container will fail. To get both keys and values, you must use dot item. Okay, so that's what it is. Just the keys to get both. Okay, so key dot items. That's what I need to remember. Okay, I'm just trying to figure out what do I need to remember. It's not get, it is dot get item. Is that right? Dot items. So dictionary dot items. So the items in the dictionary. Items in the dictionary. Dot items. Dot items. Dot items. Okay. So now but it's still angry. Okay. So what is it angry about? So it looks like we returned more things than was expected. Okay. Two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 4. That there is no integer in the container, return an empty string. So now I have more than here. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and then get next. So we have these get next. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 get next, and then 1 remove. So this is going to be new each time, okay? And then I'm going through all of the items and I'm sorting them. And then I break out of this for loop, and then I come back up to this one and I come back in here. What does this say? Okay, 200 out of 300, okay. Empty string, empty string, empty string, empty string, 2, 2, 4, 4, okay. Remove 2. One, okay, oh my goodness. This one, then this one. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this last one is an empty thing. Next of 4. So if it's not in there, we append this random empty string. Okay? Then remove 2 is true. Okay? Then next, get next. 2 is 4, 3 is also 4, and then the next one doesn't exist, so we append that. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 2, 4, and then this one should be 4 right here. I returned 0, or I hit this one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for number 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So get next 3 should return 4. So why would this not trigger? Because I have the value, right? and it's strictly greater than so I'm going to say checking like this, okay? Can I do this? Console output here, okay? So for the wrong answer, this is still the one that we're expecting, right? So I am looking at when val is 4, right? Checking 1. Does it always... Okay. Hi. This is unfortunate. This. So, however, there are two logical will prevent it from the ghost elements. When you use this right here, you are pulling every key that was ever added. If you added 5, then removed it, the count is still 0. Oh, okay. You need to check this before adding it. Okay, multiple appends will append every number larger than val. Your loop here, if my sorted list is greater than val, will append every number that is larger than val. For example, okay. So let's just see how they do it for the in range my sorted list. So they're just iterating through. Okay, fine. Okay, so for this one, I'm gonna say if. Oh, but val. I have this val and that val. Hold on. Dictionary val. Dictionary val. Here. If dictionary val is greater than 0, then we append this. Otherwise, we don't. Okay? Right. Okay, so the next one is, we're going to say, if this comes, then we should continue and break out of this for loop. I still think that that should. Obviously not, but... Okay, back to here. Break. Oh, continue just... Oh, right. Yeah. That would make sense. Continue is just going to go to the next iteration of it. Break. Run tests. Are you happy? No, you are not happy. Okay. Dictionary value. It's true. You execute this no matter what. No, I don't. I don't think so. But immediately after the loop finishes, you execute this. If you find a match, your result looks like this. If you've else, break the for loop. Oh, I see. Okay. Alright, I'm going to take a little bit of a break because I'm seeing that it is like 1 hour and 30 minutes right now. So I'm going to take a break. I am going to rest my brain a little bit and then come back to these kind of questions. And so yeah, trying to get practice understanding how this is working and all of that. So, let's see, I feel like I like this one. Reset this question. Code changes are reset if this question type is not visited in 2 weeks. Okay, that's fine. So this one was a good one. This one was progressive. What was that called? Progressive something? Let's see. Progressive. This one. This one was a good one. So hopefully we'll be able to get some of these as well. And then just continue and look at all of these and try to understand everything. And yeah, so what did I learn? Not learn, but like what did I observe? What were some of the things that it was asking about? It was asking about like digits, number manipulation, obviously like, okay, I need to analyze, kind of just like go over in my head. What did they ask here, and what should I really like study, kind of thing. Okay, so yeah, anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked it, subscribe. I would love to have you along for the journey. And yeah, going forward, we're going to be making more videos and trying to cram for this code signal TikTok assessment. So yeah, anyways, thank you guys for watching. My name is Timothy Lee Grant. I will see you guys very soon.